Welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. We are an experienced police officer of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is about to educate you with facts and not propaganda or hyperbole for the government or its minions. I am not here to support criminals or their supporters. I do believe that criminals must live in fear for their lives and not the law-abiding citizens. I have received a video through one of my social media platforms from a police officer boasting and overjoyed that there is a PMP LGBTQ+ politician in Jamaican Parliament who's looking out for the police, and I must listen to the video. When I started to watch the video, the speaker was Mr. Julian Robinson. I want my viewers and subscribers to listen to what this man has to say, and I will educate you about this man and his philosophy towards the police. Watch.
I saw a salary slip of an entry-level police, I don't even know if he's a constable. Before tax, it was $70,000. After tax, and I checked to see whether he had any loans or anything, he was taking home $46,000 a month. Now the reality is, we can't ask people to literally put their lives on the line for $46,000 a month. But that is the reality.
So now that you watch the video, what do you think? Well, you think this man is an honest broker when it comes down to the police officers and their benefits and how they're living? If you're a police officer and think that, you're nothing but a fool. Because this man don't care one iota about police officers. You understand? This is a political ploy. Both political party have never ever shown the police in Jamaica any form of respect. You understand? Since the 1990s. From 1989, everything has been going down and getting worse for the police. You understand? The time when the police got the best increase was in 1994, and it was because the coalition with the help of Edward Siaga and Michael Manley, both of them come together and decide to give the police a living wage. That hasn't happened again. That was 1994, where police gets substantial raise so that their cost of living was on par with inflation. That has not happened since then. So don't ever bank on this guy to think that this guy is your savior. This guy is no savior or friend to any of you people. You understand? Did you know that the people from Coral Gardens, St. James and Tivoli Gardens did not have to demonstrate to get reparation? Let that sink in. The channel is for the men and women of the police force in Jamaica and law-abiding citizens in Jamaica and the diaspora. The people live in fear of these dons, thugs, gunmen and hoodlums who are unelected government leaders in the communities who have impunity to shoot, rape, rob, extort and kill fellow Jamaicans because they have Jamaican for Justice, whose funding is private and secret from the Jamaican people, and members of parliaments of both sides of the aisles who supports criminal behavior. Now that you have watched this video, do you know that Mr. Julian Robinson, he is an anti-police and pro-criminal supporter? Yes, Mr. Julian Robinson of the PMP LGBTQ+ party is no pro-police supporter. He is one of the PMP LGBTQ+ party member who is responsible for taking away the police powers of issuing firearm licenses in Jamaica and making sure that police officers have to go through the same process as civilians to get a firearm license. Is that the person that you call a friend? A friend who will stab you in the back? Absence police officer. Also, Mr. Julian Robinson is one of the politicians who voted for the Indicom Act. The Indicom Act, which empower our criminals to commit their crimes in middle day without worrying about any repercussion. They can kill at will, rape, extort, do anything. If Julian Robinson were a friend of the police, he would be telling this government headed by the JLP LGBTQ Prime Minister St. Andrew Holiness government to pay the police the money that is owed to the police officers, and they are in court to get redress and payment. That is what he should have been there addressing, telling Horace Chang and Nigel Clark to pay the police the money that they owe them for the past 13 years. The police who have been working overtime and should be getting their back money. Some of them resign and they will not get it. All the government has been using delay tactics. How to see how many police officers would retire, dead, or leave the police force so they don't have to get that money. You understand? But they make sure that the people in Tivoli Gardens and Coral Gardens, they got reparation for killing police officers. Mr. Robinson would not address such topic, because if he do that, he'll be going against the grain of politicians and their policies of anti-police rhetoric in Jamaica, because you cannot love the police in Jamaica and survive. In no organization, no artist or anything, unless you're doing something like Chronics or anything like that, you cannot be a pro-law enforcement supporter in Jamaica and you are loved by the populace. No, you have to be one to kill police, say you love when them kill police, inform of the dead. Those are the kind of people that rise to prominence in Jamaica, not someone who support law-abiding behavior. You understand? When the PMP LGBTQ plus party was the government and was in power, has you ever heard Mr. Julian Robinson advocated for the police force members to receive a livable salary? No. Have you ever heard him making public statement supporting the police force and its members? No. Have you ever heard Julian Robinson calling for the disbandment of the Indicom law because it has done more harm to the Jamaican people and more for the shutters to dust out our people? No. Because that is not political viable for him. Anyway, if he ever tries that, and let it be known that he supports the police, the people in East Kingston or wherever he represents, close to Philip Palwell constituency, they would not vote for him, because majority of Jamaican people do not like police, period, because they are criminal-minded people, and that's how it is for the past 50 years. It has taken roots in the people's psyche that if you are someone who is for law and order, you are an enemy of the people. You understand? Young police officers, let me educate you about the PMP LGBTQ plus party's history with the police force and its members. In 1989, the PMP LGBTQ plus party, as the government of the day, repealed the Suppression of Crime Act, which was very important in taming our criminals and making them live in fear for their lives. In 1989, when the PMP were in power, criminals were living in fear for their lives. Nobody want nobody to know that they are done, because if you are done, you're on the list to get eradicated. They took the same PMP, they took away immigration agency from the police force because they believed that the police officers were making too much money, sending their children to universities in the United States. And KD Knight and the others hated police for educating their children. So they don't like in time people are educated, because they know when people are educated, they're not going to subscribe to their philosophy and their policies. 3, in the early 1990s, the PMP LGBTQ plus government are the ones who enacted laws creating various agencies to investigate and arrest police officers who were performing their duties to protect the people of Jamaica. 4. They have tried to get rid of the Indicom law enacted on the books, and it was the late Edward Seaga, who was the opposition leader, who prevented P.J. Patterson administration from bringing the law to the fore. Let me repeat this to all of you police officers, because both political parties now is pretty much they have the same philosophy, the Michael Manley philosophy, when it comes to crime. The PMP, they tried to get the Indicom law enacted on the books, and it was the late Edward Seaga, who was the opposition leader, who prevented P.J. Patterson administration from bringing the law to the fore. So it was Edward Seaga all these years, right up until Bruce Golding became Prime Minister, why Jamaican police did not get the Indicom Act, because as it has stated that even Francis Swabs, as Commissioner of Police, wanted the act. You understand? 5. They are the ones why every police officer who's involved in fatal shootings or any shooting, their regulation numbers, names are in the diary entry, and the weapon fired and the number of rounds. Before this policy was implemented, the reason why they did this is that the majority of the police fatal shooting that people of various community, mostly PMP LGBTQ plus communities, when they gave statements and the files were completed and submitted to the DPP's office, the police officers whom they name as the person who killed the suspect were not the ones whom they accuse of shooting the deceased. Thus, most police fatal shooting, there was no arrest of the police officers who killed the deceased, because the witnesses were professional liars who could not get their story straight. There were no consequences ever for them to lie to the police for giving false statement. The PMP LGBTQ plus party and this JLP LGBTQ plus government have is to persecute the police officers who are doing their jobs and make sure that they do not enjoy the Jamaican Constitution as other Jamaicans. The Jamaican police officers in Jamaica are the only ones who do not enjoy the Jamaican Constitution. Can you believe? So the Jamaican police force and its members are treated like foreigners and aliens, because the Constitution don't protect them, but it protects the criminals from self-incrimination. Can you believe that? So the police officers don't have that right. So that part of the Constitution don't apply to the Jamaican police officers. And it's the entire system, the government system, the judges and all those people. So the police officers, that's why I tell young police officers to leave. The Constitution do not apply to you. Because when I was there as a police officer, no one could force me to give a statement. A statement was voluntary. Now a statement is mandatory. And if you do not tell them what they want to hear, then they arrest and charge you and you end up with a criminal conviction. None of them do not like you. Today, Julian Robinson haven't called for the disbandment of the FLA agency, which is the most corrupt agency in the Jamaican government. However, the PMP LGBTQ plus party, when they were the government, they are the one that created this agency so that their supporters and friends would have jobs. They cannot create any jobs, So what they do is expand the government, big government, and create additional income for people when this is a drag on the economy and the government purse. All these people that at FLA, this was job that was being done by police officers, and they were no more incentive than the police that issue guns. They were, and the firearm clerk was police officers, but now they create jobs for their friends and all kind of thing, and it's more corrupt, and it's costing the Jamaican people money every month. So they're creating an agency for their friends. But the PMP did not know that the JLP would be the government of the day, success and win back-to-back election. When the police were in charge of issuing firearms, there was never ever in the history that they have issued firearms to criminals, deportees, or those who are known violence producers. Young police officers, don't be fooled by Julian Robinson, because he has and will never be your friends orally in the Jamaican Parliament unless you are a PMP LGBTQ plus supporter and criminal, like some police officers who commit crime on behalf of their respective political party, especially the PMP. Another thing to note, that Julian Robinson, voted for the reparation for the Rastas in Coral Gardens, St. James, for killing 2 police officers, 5 civilians on Good Friday, April 12, 1963. These people burned down a gas station and attacked the police officers and received a commitment from the government of $100 million for killing these police officers and citizens of Jamaica. In May 2010, the security forces had an incursion to enter Tivoli Gardens, Kingston, to appear in Christopher Dudoscope, who was wanted by the American government for guns and drug trades. The people of Tivoli Gardens, Kingston, killed 2 police officers and 1 soldier and injured several others during their challenge to the government of Jamaica. In the end, the people of Tivoli Gardens have received over $2 billion and more from the government of Jamaica. So, Mr. Julian Robinson, anything to do with the police, is willing to vote for it to make sure that the people who kill police officers in 2 different circumstances, even I don't know if he was born before 1963, but these people who kill police officers in 1963, I don't know if he's older than 58. He makes sure that he voted for them to get reparation, and the people in 2010 who killed police officers in Tivoli Gardens, he makes sure he had voted for them. So now that he's in Parliament, because the PMP, is suffering, they're in the wilderness, and the people do not like their policies, because their policies now is the JLP have their policies, because St. Andrew Holiness is Michael Manley 2.0. So now that he's crying, you understand, he's trying to find a way for the PMP to come to the fore, because this Prime Minister, the people love him like Michael Manley, they call him bro God and all kind of things, you understand. So he has to find a little way now to get to the police, you understand what I'm saying, because they make sure, this bro God makes sure that the police force and its hierarchy, it's all labor rights, you understand what I'm saying. And the PMP know that their days they are numbered, because even in PMP community, the last election, the GLP received 40-something% of the vote in these communities, which is unlike these people, because the election was fair. You have the soldiers who were monitoring the ballot box. It's not the police that were monitoring. Police were there, but it was the soldier that prevented a lot of bogus voting. You understand? Julian Robinson will never be your friend. Alright? The only PMP guy that will be your friend is Damian Crawford, because he's the only one who's promoting a crime-free Jamaica and how to get there. Thanks for watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. Please remember to like, subscribe, click on the bell, and share your comments below. Have yourself a beautiful day. Peace.